Welcome to my channel. That's POV Bree, and we finna get into it today. So today we have a walk-in, and he's getting a haircut. He wants a tip fade, but as y'all can see, somebody has been pushing his hairline bizak, like I'm saying, back like crazy. It don't have to be like that. You always want to keep their natural hairline when it comes to kids, because when you grow up, then the you know, for guys especially, their hairline gonna be starting to recede, you know, so you want to keep as much as possible, even though it is very little. Okay, so what I'm about to do is a big transformation on him. I say a transformation because he is, I'm putting his vertical bars where they need to be. Okay, we not pushing him back. I don't know who cut his hair before. It couldn't be from this shop. I promise you it couldn't be from this shop. But anyway, yeah. But to each their own, you know, everybody got their, you know, different style of how they cut. But for me, I'm not a pusher backer unless somebody wants that. Now, I love a good POV. You know, welcome to the first long form POV on this YouTube channel. It's been long waited. I've been waiting so long to do this. I waited a few months so I can get my gear up, and then so I can get the device and mics and everything to be able to do POVs for y'all. So with that being said, welcome. And if you like things like this, videos like this, content like this, okay, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button and share with your people, okay? So shout out to all my barber girlies, okay? I am a barber girly. I love to cut hair, like I really love it, you know. Sometimes I do it for free, and sometimes I do it for money. And sometimes I give them extra service and charge them little. It just depends, you know. But I just love the game, and I love what it comes with, okay? Each person is a different canvas for me. I am an artist, so every canvas, every person is a canvas to me, and I treat them like art. You know, I like the perfection, things like that. So as I'm combing his hair, y'all see he got some flaking going on, he got some snowing going on, but that's not gonna stop me, okay? So what I do is I go ahead and take my comb through his hair to make sure he doesn't have like any abrasions or whatever like that. So what I do notice that maybe from his previous haircut, he did bump up in the areas where they use razors, or where they use a liner, or even where they use clippers at. So, but I'm gonna try to take the hair down with a 1.5 here, and then I go with a 1.5 closed the other way, and it's still not taking it down any, but I do take it down with this just in case he does have like a cowlick or whatever, and I didn't catch it with my comb. So I take it down with that first. So you never want to always take too much down first, especially when you got a new client in your chair. Just in case, you know, they got something going on with their hair underneath that you do not see. Now I am using my TOMB45 clippers, okay? Now the trimmer is supposed to be coming this week. Supposedly I was supposed to get it Friday, but it ended up being changed to Sunday. So Sunday is the definite day of me getting the trimmers to go with this. You know, it took me a lot not to just go buy it, because I'm a little patient when it comes to my devices. But we're going to keep it moving and be patient and just wait on the time that it needs to be to get here, okay? Now, we still taking his hair down with that 1.5, just to make sure. Like I said, I want to make sure he doesn't have like any patches or any cowlicks in his head. You know, it's a funny name. It's literally a cowlick, like a cowlick. You know how a cow licks something, and then I don't know, whatever they have on their tongue makes it like a little spiky or something. So that's what a cowlick is. Basically, when that hair is going the other way rather than being in uniform with the other hairs, okay? Now, sometimes they be having like 10, 30 cowlicks in their head, you know, and then I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's really different when it comes to straight hair as well, when they do have cowlicks in there, because if you cut it a certain way, then it's gonna look spiky, then it's not gonna lay, and then we don't want that. But anyway, back into this haircut. I hope y'all liking this POV, and I hope y'all liking this setup. I do run the Babeless and TPOB setup. Shout out to all the other brands. Shout out to all the brands. I love a good clipper. I did start from scratch building this up But now I went in his hair with a 1 all the way closed, and now y'all can see that it actually is chopping down now. So that is pretty good. I didn't want to go too low because he does have waves, and so I do see that he does take care of his hair in some type of way, do some type of brushing or whatever the case may be. So this is going to be low enough. I am going to end up washing his hair with my flex foam because I don't like my clients leaving with like flakes in their hair, dirt in their hair. We're not doing that. So what I do in my chair is I give them a quick little wash in my chair, and blow dry them in my chair as well. We're not going nowhere. We're gonna stay right here. Okay, I want to try to make my clients do as less work as possible because most of the work is on my end. So I just want to come in and relax. Okay, especially for the man who just go out there and be working. I just want them to sit in the chair and relax, not get up. Okay. But anyway, yeah, taking his hair down with a 1, and I'm making sure it's going even all the way through. Okay, so y'all might see me do a couple laps through each side of the head just because I want to make sure that I'm getting every spot that I need. Now what I do is I have a blower, okay, like a mini blower, and I like to blow the hair off them as we go because it's like cleaning my canvas. Like I like to keep a clean canvas. I don't like to let the hair marinate on them. Plus it makes them less itchy as well. Even though we do have the neck strip on them, it still can go down their neck and make them itchy, or go on their face and make them itchy. So I try to lean towards not making them so itchy and basically keeping a clean canvas for me. So what I do grab is a face shield. Okay, I meant to put on him when I first started. Normally I use this for kids because kids be like, oh, it's hair in my face, and sometimes I use it for adults as well. It just depends on how I'm feeling, but when I do be putting this on, they're like, what is this? I'm like, it's a face shield, so yeah, I like to do stuff like this. I love a good gadget. I'm a gadget girly, so anything that can help me or advance me or give me something that sets me aside from anybody else, sets me aside from myself, really. I'm not in competition with anybody, but I like to set myself aside. Like I want to give them a very good experience, even kids to teens to grown-ups. Like I want to give them the best experience with me. So now I can comb in there crazy because he got a thing on, and y'all see it's protecting his face from all the snow that is coming down from his hair. Now I wouldn't say it's dirty, but I would say he might have dandruff. I'm not gonna call it dirty, but definitely some dandruff in there. So yeah, I give it a good comb one more time before I go in there with my TOMB45 clippers. I do love these clippers. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. These clippers, I done seen people talk junk about them, but they are powerful. Okay, I barely use the second like wave of power. I don't press that button unless I may be going through broke, and even if I'm going through broke, I still stay on that first notch. But anyway, I go in with it completely closed, setting my ball guideline. Because his head is sensitive, as y'all can see, he does have those bumps from whoever cut his hair last time. I'm gonna assume he's sensitive to sharp clippers or sharp trimmers. So I go in with my guideline, and then I open it up about halfway so I can set the next guideline for me. Now I'm gonna be honest, every technique is probably different on each head because they have a certain type of texture, or their hair might not be cutting the same. Okay, so I do go in there with my clipper on the second notch now, after I just did the halfway mark. And I asked him to put his head down because he does have a smaller head, and with him leaning back, I'm not able to get what I need to get. So now y'all see that it's cutting and I'm able to get what I need to get. So I do go in with it all the way open. So that's basically my second guideline. I would say that's my second guideline. I wouldn't say that's my first guideline, but it's definitely my second guideline. And as y'all can see, it's getting blendy in here. Okay, Now I am making sure that I'm just very careful in the back, making sure everything is consistent throughout. So y'all do see me go back and make a couple runs using all my notches on my lever. And now this notch play on this TOMB45 is very slick, I'm not gonna lie. The reason why it's slick, because I get to just, because it's so thick, I get to just tap it with my thumb and keep it moving. The notch is not like a heavy notch. It's no, you don't have to use much force. One tap and you're good to go. Now, one thing about these clippers, these guards are gas. I'm not gonna lie to you, these are gas. The why these are gas? Look at these way these feed into this hair. Gas. Now, I did come in here with my one all the way closed. That is my next step that I do. Because I go in with a different technique sometimes with different hair. Most of the time it's the same, but I came in here with my one all the way closed after I did the all the way closed, no guard, halfway, and then all the way open. We in here with the one all the way closed, and as y'all can see, look at that blend turning into a blend. Okay, we in the blender right now. We in blend mode in the blender, blendy. We blended it up. Now we switch it to have either halfway or the second notch. I'm gonna believe that it's halfway and not the second notch. Okay, and as y'all can see, we taking all the lines out that we need to take. His hair is at a 1.5 closed already, so we not gonna need much, but I do come back and put it all the way open after this. But y'all see me, y'all see that comb movement, y'all see that clipper movement connecting on all sides. Look how I'm coming at it at an angle, because his hair is coming at a certain way. So we're not just going straight up, we coming curved with it, just like this too, to make sure we get that part as well. And then he does have like a bit of a hump right there, so I'm making sure to get the hair that's underneath that hump so it won't be so bulky under that hump in the back of the head. What is it? The occipital bone. Occipital bone. Occipital bone. Okay. So I'm picking out what I need to pick. Saying like, okay, maybe we can go a little less here, and yeah. Don't mind me right here. I'm just making sure every client is taken care of as soon as they walk in the shop. Okay, now I'm pretty sure this is my 0.5. Look at this 0.5. This 0.5 is top tier. Now I come in with that 0.5, starting to eat up that line that I pointed at earlier, saying, okay, maybe I need to take some off here. My 0.5 all the way closed. Okay, we going at it all the way closed. Okay, now you see that line starting to light up. Now, this is a carbon fiber black ice comb. Okay, and when I tell you this comb is so icy, and the way it is, I just love using it. Like, the carbon fiber on it, I don't know, is way better than a plastic comb. Okay, I do use both brush and combs. So, but for his hair, in the back especially, I want to go ahead and use that comb so I can make sure I'm getting everything and pulling everything down. Because sometimes when you use that brush, the brush just don't get it out. It don't pull it like it needs to be pulled. So I'm using that comb. Now, as y'all can see, this fade is actually pulling together. I am actually just doing some lever play with this 0.5 guard, and as y'all can see, the way that it's feeding into this hair is crazy. Like, this clipper, I might as well not buy any other clippers. I might as well not, okay? Because this clipper is top tier, top of the line clipper. They really done it with this one. They really put their foot into it. It's not like any other design. It feels so good in my hands. The way all the grips is. Okay, now I did come in here with my 1.5 and just do some cleanup work. Nothing too crazy. Just getting a bulk out that I do not need. Okay, now this, I wouldn't call this a super tutorial, because I'm not, it's because this is my first client, not first client, but this is my first time cutting him, so I don't want to do a tutorial on him with y'all. So definitely this is just a POV. All my videos are gonna be POVs. This is just showing y'all how I go into cutting things and just me explaining the process while I'm doing it. But I wouldn't call this necessarily a tutorial. A tutorial will be on somebody that I've cut before, so I know their hair all the way around, and that expect that. But this is not a full blown out tutorial. I'm just definitely giving y'all that POV. Okay, make sure to keep them clean. We tucking it down because he is a little small. She's a small guy, man. He's a kid, so you make sure that hair don't go, touch that shirt in the back. So y'all see where I'm pointing at? I want to get that line out right there that these put in. Okay, I started off the ball line with the clipper. Now I told y'all his hair come at an angle, so y'all see me angling this clipper just to get them little bitty hairs out. This is how much the details matter to me. Okay, this is how much I take my art serious. Some people just give people a cut, and me, I'm painting. Like I'm painting, using erasers, charcoal, colored pencils in the hair. That's what I feel like when a clipper or a trimmer is in my hand. Like that is my brush, that is my pencil, that is my charcoal, that is my airbrush, and the clients really pay attention to that. Even if you think the kids don't be paying attention, like you think the kids just getting a cut because their parents told them to get a cut. No, they are paying attention how you cut their hair. Okay, that's what makes them relax. He is relaxed. Usually when kids are uneasy, they'll be moving in the chair, or they'll be in the chair really, if they don't feel comfortable with you gonna feel it. Okay, but he's actually quite comfortable with me. Now it's time to get into these sides. Now when it comes to these sides, he really has a lot of dandruff on his sides. So I do go ahead and analyze his hair a little bit more, and as you can see where they push his line back and where it starts. So I'm analyzing that so I know how to come into this fade. Now sometimes I do be lining this like I would say a trace line. I put in a trace line so I know where to start my fade sometimes, but this time I'm gonna say naked. I went in and with it naked, with them all the way closed, and then I do the halfway, and then I do the open, and then I go in with my guard. Now here is that look at the stuff inside, but anyway, yeah, I go in with it all the way closed, and then halfway. And then y'all see I got my brush out. I told y'all I'll be brushing and combing at the same time for this particular for his tint fade. In the back I use the comb, but on the sides y'all see me using a sturdy brush. Okay, not too hard, not too soft, just in the middle. Okay, because he is a kid, so kids I'm not gonna say I'd also get irritated, but kids tend to get more irritated. They don't even want to sit down for a long period of time. So I go in there with my one all the way open, and then I change it to close. Now I'm doing a lever play just because I can't really see through his dandruff. Okay, it's there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't want to do too much to where I take away all the hair, and then after the dandruff is gone, then the fade is messed up. We don't want to do that. So I'm doing as much as I can until I wash it, and then it'll give me a better look and a better see and a better feel. Mainly I think his scalp is just really dry, so I grab my play trimmers, which are very, very, I'm not gonna lie, look how these cut. I just want y'all to see. This is spicy. Now it feels like a pencil because I get to sketch. I'm sketching right now. Remember I told you I do a little soft line, nothing too crazy, but these trimmers don't play no games. Okay, I only really needed one pass through, but since these trimmers feel just like a pencil, I'm doing what I need to do. Okay, let's get around that ear a little bit so I can get more of the fade. Now I'm not gonna line it the back because I am gonna wash his hair and prep his skin before I even touch it. So basically I'm just seeing where everything is at so I can better give him a fade. And then I do the same thing on the other side. Alright, now y'all, it is time for me to go ahead and wash his head. Okay, so what I'm about to do is grab a towel so I can throw it in the towel warmer. I just don't be having a towel sitting in the towel warmer because not everybody needs a hot towel, you know. Yeah. And I want to say not everybody, because I use hot towels on everybody, even on their lineup. But even when they don't need a wash, I still use a hot towel most of the time. But I don't put it in there until the client is there, because I don't want them to sit there and just be sitting in moisture, because I do have a towel warmer that is involves water at the bottom, so it heats up the water, boiling water, then the steam goes to the towel. That's what type of towel warmer that I have. I'm rigging it out here, and then I just go ahead, fold him up, and put it in the towel warmer. Now, while the towel is warming in the towel warmer, I go ahead and wash his hair with my flex foam from I believe Titan products. I'm not sure, but it's the guy who created the flow enhancements that goes crazy on Instagram saying that his enhancements don't move. That's the guy who made the flex foam. So yeah, I'm about to do that process, and then yeah, I'll check back in with y'all. Now, I know y'all gonna be like, do you charge extra for this service? I don't. You know, I'm a giver at heart. So if they want to charge me for this, if they want to give me money for this service, they can. But most of the time, I include this with the haircut. Like, I don't, I feel like everybody sometimes need a good head massage, a good wash, which you see when they start to leaning and relaxing like that, they be like, yes, sir. It be feeling good on the scalp, because normally they probably wouldn't get a scrub it up, dub, okay? So y'all probably gonna be like, how like are you gonna rinse it? The hot towel is the rinse. So this product is made for, it's like a dry wash, but not a dry wash in a sense. So if y'all ever deal with a dry wash, you only put the hot towel on it, because the chemicals and stuff in it, it makes it evaporate regardless if I put this hot towel on it or not. But I do take his face mask off because he doesn't need it anymore. I'm not taking any hair off, and then his hair is going to be clean after this. So yeah, so this hot towel is the wash and rinse, and y'all gonna see how the soap disappears. And then we're gonna prep that line and prep everything up. Now, if y'all don't have like paper towels, these aren't like regular paper towels, right? So these can take up a lot of water, I would say. And this is how I dry their hair sometimes, because I'm not finna pull out another towel just to dry their hair, even if when their hair is low. Now, longer hair would be different, but their hair is low. I just take my towel. I get it from a barber supply, and then I just dry the hair off. And as you can see, there is no flaking, and his hair is about dry already. That's how good these towels are. But yeah, always have like some white dry towels on hand, something like this, so that you don't have to always use your towels. And then I also use those for razors. Like when I'm razoring up somebody, I'm able to put the residue from me shaving them onto those towels. So instead of using those big old towels, we use the white disposable towels. Now I do blow off the dirt from the hair, I mean the dirt from the comb, and then I go back into his hair, and as you can see, ain't nothing flaking no more. We not flaky, and you see that was a good wash. That was a good scrubber dub, okay? So yeah, now I can see where my fade is, okay? With that dryness being there before, I couldn't see where the fade was. And y'all can see that fade was turning out pretty good for me to not know, actually, not me being able to see where it is between the dry skin and the haircut. So I come back in here and I do some detail work to make sure that fade is good, and that's what y'all finna see me do. Detail work. Now it's time for me to prep that line up, okay? So I grab my alcohols, okay, and then I get brush ready, so I'll be able to brush it as I go ahead and put the alcohol on them, so that line prep can be crisp, okay? So I'll make sure I cover his eyes because I don't want him to be like, I got in my eyes. So I'll make sure his eyes are covered when I'm doing it. Now I can grab my face shield that I usually use, but sometimes I just, cover him up with my hand. Nothing wrong with that. So I do grab my brush and brush all the way around to make sure that alcohol is on, spread it cleanly. Now we don't want to put the alcohol over the head. That's not what I did. I just put it on the line, okay? And then also make sure that make sure it's on that first level of power, and then I take some of that hair down right there so I can go ahead and match it up where his line's supposed to be. Now y'all see where that line supposed to be, okay? I'm just making sure, measuring, getting the picture in my head, so when I go in with my trimmer, I'm not going too far. I'm going where his line needs to be. Now, I ain't gonna lie, his dad was very cool. Like, he was very happy that I put his line back where it is. Now I went in with my freeze spray, okay, all the way around, and then I let it dry. since I already combed everything and brushed everything, sometimes I brush in there, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just leave it, but this time I will brush it in here, especially if we want that crispy of the crisp. Okay, the crispy of the crisp. Okay, so I'm brushing it in here, and as y'all can see, his hair is actually turning out A1. The fade is on point. Now we grab our play trimmers. Okay, these are on point, and y'all want to see how this cut. Watch. Look at how it's cutting. Look at this. Look at me being able to go around the nape area without nicking them, without hurting them, without them bobbing their head saying ah. Y'all know that little ah. You know when they move their head a little bit, even if they don't make that little sound, they move their head because the clippers be sharp. Okay, so yeah, look how I'm coming around. Look how I got my comb to make sure I'm grabbing every single hair and not just doing a lineup and not combing it. So when they go to brush their hair and they go to sleep and they wake up, and then the line is all over the place. But look at how look at that. Look at how clean this cut is turning out. I was so proud of this cut, and I was so glad I got a POV of this haircut. Now usually I would, before the POVs, I'd have my phone there just recording. But these POVs gives y'all a better take, a better look, and I'm giving y'all the full length video. I'm not cutting nothing out. I'm showing y'all what I do, what I grab, what products I'm using, so that y'all, if y'all want to take something from these videos, y'all can. Okay, I'm not hiding anything. I'm not doing any cuts. That's the reason I'm doing POVs, because I don't want to do any cuts. I don't want to do any edits to it. I really just want y'all to see for what it is. Okay, my natural authentic self and my natural authentic cuts. Like I am gonna enhance them. That's what I'm not saying like natural authentic cuts. I'm saying naturally. Like I don't want y'all to have that experience with me and saying like, oh, she don't show what she be using. And y'all can't say that. Y'all can't say that now, because I'm showing y'all everything I use, every clipper that I use. And so whatever y'all see me do, whatever y'all see me use, is in this video. Okay, so y'all won't have to ask me, what did you use, or what was that, or I'm not doing that, and I'm not gatekeeping. Okay, I'm not a gatekeeper. I want everybody to be the best version of themselves. Okay, so with that being said, y'all gonna keep continuously getting these beautiful POVs from me with the blurry background, blurring out their faces. Okay, I will also like to do without, like, where y'all can hear the clippers or whatever, but because it's loud in here, I didn't want to distract y'all from the clipper and y'all be like, man, I ain't trying to watch the video because I don't like the way it sounded in the shop. We got music playing all over the shop. We just not gonna have that. But as y'all can see, I started in the middle of the head, and then I went in head. I am short, y'all. I am short, so sometimes y'all might not see something, but it's not my fault. Okay, it's really not my fault. And look at this. Look how it's coming in there. Look how it's blended in. I just want to show y'all how where his real hairline supposed to be. And then I'm coming in there with a curve. Now this is how I curve my haircuts. Not everybody get this curve, because everybody curve is not like this. But y'all can see how I do everything, and then take from it. But this is how I do it. If y'all ever want any specific tutorial or want me to do anything specific, leave the comment down below. Okay, and then I also fixed this one as well. It's not supposed to ever be all behind that eyebrow. You see where it was? It was basically at the end of the eyebrow, and it's not supposed to be like that. Not all the way at the end like that. No sir, no sir. Okay, we leaving it where it's at, and I'm able to get all corners with this plate trimmer, I didn't use any other trimmer on him at all. Okay, I didn't go in with another clipper and be like, man, look at these plays hit. I didn't use any other trimmer but this one, and this is why I'm doing this POV, so y'all can see that with what I'm using the whole time. I'm not flexing. I'm not saying, oh, these trimmers are hitting, and then coming in using another clipper, cut that out, and then be like, man, these are the best trimmers in the game. No, these are some fire trimmers, especially for kids, older people. When I say older people, like elderly, is very good on them. Very spicy, okay? And it's good, honestly, for anybody. These trimmers are amazing. You know, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so right now, I'm doing what I want to do when I use these clippers, okay? And I will do some unboxings and reviews, but right now I do have a good setup. So I'm gonna show y'all what I use and show y'all my setup in a different video, so that way y'all see what's really going at the station, okay? But right now I'm using all TPOB, and I'm using Babyliss right now. Of course I had every other clipper before, but right now this is my setup, my go-to setup. I am gonna take that hair down some, so it don't be so bulky right there, so it won't stand out crazy, you know, from the line I got pushed back and where his natural line would be. Y'all might see me go back and forth with this line, right? It's lineup, but I'm able to do that with this pencil blade, with this clipper, with this trimmer, because it's so soft and so delicate. Look at that hairlines on A1. It's on crispy. We not pushed back, we not leaning, things like that. His hair is very boxed off and very on point, but I'm able to go back without his skin turning red. You don't see his skin turning red anywhere, so that means these clippers is set on point, okay? And these trimmers are amazing. So I do come in, like I said, and come in and start to take down that bulk that is on his hairline, to make sure that it matches where his hairline is actually supposed to be. And I do, like I said, I do put enhancements in here, and enhancements, you know, I'm not prone, like, I'm not against enhancements. I actually love enhancements. I'm not gonna buy that TOMB45 gadget in there for enhancements if I don't love enhancements. I love a good enhancement, okay? Pretty soon I'm coming out with my own enhancements, y'all, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But for right now, I'm using this enhancement. I don't know what it's called at this very moment in time, but I know y'all seen this bottle before, okay? I know y'all seen this bottle. And then, yeah, and I'm just using a airbrush on Amazon that is $25 right now, because my TOMB45 one is in like reboot, okay? It's in reboot. I gotta fix it, I gotta do something to it, gotta clean it, gotta do whatever. So I did buy this one for right now, and I got my TOMB45 clutch card, okay? And I'm like, hold on, it started spraying weird. Every time I want to be fancy, right, and show y'all or do something like this happen to where it ain't spraying like I want it to spray, and that ain't cool, man. Definitely not cool. So I'm like over here checking, like, is it okay? But literally, I'm showing y'all in the process, okay? This can happen to anybody. I'm showing y'all the process. I'm not hiding nothing from y'all. I don't hide anything from y'all. This is the reason I got this. I'm getting a POV because I don't like hiding stuff, and I don't like doing cuts, edits, or whatever. I've done this whole cinematic thing. I've done the whole cuts thing. I just want to give y'all the raw, okay? No, but nobody gonna show this part though. Nobody's showing this, so I'm spraying. Y'all see how it's coming out? I just want to show y'all how it's coming out. I'm like, why is it coming out like that? I feel like it might be this product, just for this particular blower that I'm using, this airbrush that I'm using. So I did just switch over to flow enhancements so I don't have to deal with it. But flow is actually pretty good. I've done a little test run on it until mine comes out. Mine, I'm rebranding the logo. The products inside are still the same, but I'm just rebranding the logo. Okay. But yeah, look at him squinting his eyes. But yeah, as y'all can see, this cut is turning out pretty blendy. Okay, pretty nice. We up through there with the cut. Okay, I'm like, oh wait, hold on, sprayed a little bit too much, but y'all not gonna see that. Y'all don't see that with nobody. I'm giving y'all, like I said, I'm giving y'all raw. I'm giving y'all raw and uncut. Okay, and I'm showing y'all exactly what I'm doing. It may look like I'm using a lot, but I'm not. I'm actually very far back from his head when I'm spraying this, so I don't use too much. Now, I do go in with a pencil. It is a Royal, it's a black owned brand, which is a Royal pencil. I think it's like Royal something. Whatever it is. It's like a Royal pencil. And I come in there and I get my drawing out. Like I said, I'm an artist. Like I really do be drawing. I really do be doing illustration and stuff like that. So when it comes to this pencil, I'm very particular about how I put it on his head. Okay. Now, when it comes to this part, I don't use a razor. I know y'all see some people using that razor when it comes to the pencil. I don't use it unless the person asks for a razor. I don't just bust a razor out on everybody because everybody don't like the razor. Okay, and I normally don't use a razor for kids. Adults, okay, they can handle for razor, but when it comes to kids, I'm not using that razor. I promise you, I'm not. And then also too, with this TPOB trimmer here, I think it's a Ghost X, I believe. This is one of the best trimmers I ever use. I'll be honest with you. It can do everything. It can go through product. This trimmer is gas. This trimmer is gas. Before I just got all this other stuff, I'm gonna show y'all in a video of my previous setup and then what I have now. I literally just got this setup. All I was using was the TPOB slime trimmer and clipper set, the splat pack, and my JRLs, which I gave to somebody because they needed some clippers, and I'm a giver. But with these trimmers, right, I spray the oil because it's easier for me to take away the line. I just want a hint there. I don't want it to be, oh yeah, we got that big thick line. No, I want it to like fade in a sense. Not like makeup, but like I really wanted to fade to where it was there, but now it's gone. It's supposed to be just a contour. I know you see a lot of, other haircuts where that line is very thick. I don't like mine like that, okay? But y'all see how it kind of contours everything and not like a, I don't want it to shine bright like a diamond, He was telling me about this clipper he just got over here, which was the Baby's Low Pro with the blue MIM blade. And I was like, man, them things is loud. I'm not gonna lie. Compared to my TOMB45, they loud. But I was like, they clean though. They clean, but them things was loud. That's my boy though. But anyway, I go ahead and keep doing what I'm doing and fading to the max, blending everything into the max. Y'all see where we at with the head. I didn't have to come back here, but the way my perfectionist is set up, I needed to do that. I needed to come back there and hit that line real quick. But yeah, anyway, they was making barber and clipper deals all day. They've been making barber and clipper deals all week, man. I don't know what's up with them this week. They've been making them deals. But look how it's kind of, this trimmer is cleaning up that product that I put on there. I use my thumb to take away the excess, but then I come in there with some more oil sheen. I've been doing this for about 5 years, y'all. Since 2020, I've been applying oil to that oil-based pencil. It's an oil-based pencil. So I think of it as like oil paint, right? When you add oil to oil paint, you're able to maneuver better, or you're able to thin it out. That's what I'm doing when I'm using this oil on the head. Okay, y'all. It don't have to be anything fancy. I usually use the level 3 oil sheen, or I use this random one here. But other than that, I don't know what other oil sheen. Oh, the regular, I guess, the one that comes in the gold can or the silver can, those are good too. But I normally don't use. I used them in the beginning when I first started, but I no longer use them anymore. But yeah, like I said, I'm short, so y'all might not see some things. So I'm sorry for that. But as I can see, that line, that chalk line, right, is dang near gone. For me, I don't like to have that chalk line there. I want it to be faded, contoured, okay? And I've been talking this mainly almost this whole time, y'all. So this is me just engaging with y'all, just having convo, explaining to y'all what's going on. That's the next nail set that I want to get, so I keep it on my screen just to, make sure I get that nail set, because I love my nails. They have to be on TT, okay? If they're not on TT, I'm not gonna feel TT, okay? So I did grab my brush, because after a while, the oil-based pencil does build up on the hair, on the trimmer a little bit. So I like kind of like a clean, fresh start. Yeah. But anyway, y'all see what's going on right here, man. Y'all see how these trimmers is spicy. They definitely zero gap. I have everything in my arsenal is zero gap, even my clippers. So everything got to be zero gap. Everything is zero gap, because I don't know. I've never worked without zero gap clippers, because yeah, I just never worked like that. And y'all see what's going on. Y'all see that hairline? That hairline is T. That hairline is T. Look at this. Oh my God, this haircut is coming out so good, and I'm so proud of myself for doing this. I'm so excited, especially about doing POVs for y'all and putting out content. Definitely, this haircut was fun. It was a good challenge. I like a good challenge. When I say it's a good challenge, it's because he did come in, with his hairline pushed back, and I knew I was going to have to do a restoration. Like, you know how they be cleaning them shoes and trying to restore them, whatever? I had to do the exact same thing with his hairline, okay? And look how this cut came out. So I do like to put the pencil not fully behind the head, but just like around the ear, the occipital bone. Wait, not the occipital bone, but the what is this? I forgot. The nape area. I like to put it there. And I do take his little stubbles off, because he's not having a beard anytime soon. So I took his little stubbles off. He didn't need them. And then I come back in the ear, just because, not even for a reason. Okay, like I said, I like to be perfectionist, and my trimmers and clippers are set up to where I can come back and touch something and they not be hurting. Okay, I like my thing just like, how you drawing and you draw light the first time, and then the more you go, the darker you get. That's how I like my trimmers to be, just like that. And look how this cut came out, y'all. This cut is magnificent. Okay, and I couldn't ask for anything better. So if y'all like videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If y'all like content like this, go ahead and click that like button. And thank y'all for tuning in to this video. This POV is Bree POV. That's Bree POV. And we are out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.